Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've done an update. Really hadn't had a lot to update on as far as my health up until um, just this week. Um, actually got some very good news. Had my liver enzymes and my chem panel, and my um, cell counts done on Monday, and after approximately 8 weeks on azathioprine, I have completely normal liver enzymes. So I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. And my AST and ALT had come down into the normal range. It had been kind of fluctuating with normal and then going up a little higher and then coming down. But after about, I've been having blood drawn every 2 weeks since I started the azathioprine. And it was, for the first few weeks, it was kind of a up-down kind of thing. My alkaline phos was still high, but it was gradually coming down a few points each time. And then all of a sudden, in the last month, things started really taking big leaps down. My AST and ALT, even last month, was normal, in the normal range. Kind of high normal, but in the normal range. And my alkaline phosphatase started taking bigger jumps. This last jump, it's been a month. It's been a month since I had it drawn, and in the last month, I can't remember off the top of my head what my last alkaline phos was, but it was still above normal a good bit. And now it's 118, which the high normal is 121. So it's still skirting at high normal, but I'll take it. I'll take it all day long. So that was really good news. I had been through some stressful things in the last month. I don't know if I have done a video since, but I did lose my most elderly cat, Samson, about a month ago. I think it was a month ago yesterday is when I had to make the painful decision to put him to sleep. And that just kind of exacerbated my anxiety. I had been dealing with anxiety for the last several months. And I've now been on and off of my anxiety medicines. I think this was the third time I had come off of them. And, excuse me, even though there were times I had nothing really to worry about, there was always this sense of dread and sense of anxiety. And that's because I have generalized anxiety disorder. That's something pretty vulnerable to say in a public forum, but I do. I come from a long history of people with anxiety in my family. Actually, mostly on my mother's side of the family, there are a lot of people that deal with anxiety. I've witnessed that most of my life, and many are on medication for it. I even feel like even on my dad's side, there is some anxiety, and maybe a lot of it was not treated, especially in a sibling who has now passed away. I think there was a great bit of anxiety and depression going on in his life. But with all that said, I have a very strong family history. I've always dealt with some form of anxiety since a child. I've never been able to pinpoint it, but there were a few things that happened when I was a child that led me as an adult to realize I've dealt with anxiety my whole life. Just had some neurotic things, like some neuroses. I was hair pulling for a while. At one point when I was a child, I pulled all my eyelashes out, and it was a compulsion. It wasn't because I can't even tell you why. I was not really dealing with anything at the time that was extremely stressful, but I think it was just the way my anxiety was manifesting itself as a child at that particular time. But I have dealt with anxiety all my life, not crippling anxiety, except for a few times. I have very high functioning anxiety, and I have taken it to the Lord so many times, and And the Lord does. My relationship with the Lord really does help me with my anxiety. But it's just this undercurrent that has been there all my life that I have now realized, now that I have been on and off anxiety medication, that I realize is actually a disorder that I have that is helped by medication. I took a couple of medications several years ago that that did not work well for me. In fact, one of them made my anxiety like 100 times worse. I couldn't even eat. And I had gone through how I knew my anxiety was really high. Now, there were things that have happened this summer that it was justifiable that I had anxiety. And when I went through those things, then that's when I lost my appetite almost completely. And that's when I know I'm at the red zone with my anxiety, is when my appetite disappears. Now, being on the immunosuppressant has contributed to that. The summertime heat contributes to that. My appetite goes down in the summer normally. But there were times when I was dealing with my most stressful moments that I absolutely felt like I could not eat. And so I know that's when things are getting bad. Now, I kind of just, as they call it, as the kids call it, I raw dogged it through that. But last week, I went on a little mini vacation, and I was having terrible time sleeping. Now, I was in a camper. I don't sleep well there anyway, but I was just anxious for absolutely really no reason. Not that there wasn't any stressors involved with what I was doing, being with my mom and making sure everything was comfortable for her, and a couple of other family dynamics going on there. But it really wasn't bothering me that bad. And I just came away from that experience going, I can't even go on vacation without my anxiety flaring. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. So I made a decision with my doctor this week that I would go back on my medication that has been working for me for the last 3 years. At first, because my liver biopsy showed that there was a possible medication-induced autoimmunity going on, that I kind of went off of everything that wasn't absolutely necessary, including my anxiety med. And I've really toughed it out for about 6 months. But I had a discussion with my doctor on Monday. I felt like I needed to go back on it. He was fine. He really didn't even recommend I come off of it. It was totally a personal decision, because the medication, he said, has not shown to cause autoimmune reaction in the liver. And rarely ever has it caused like a reaction, like an immediate liver failure type of reaction. So he wasn't pushing me to go off the medication. And when I said I wanted to go back on, he was like, absolutely. And we will check your levels in a month and see where you are, and see if that has anything to do with it, or if it's making things go up. But also, now that my liver enzymes are normal, he wants me to come off the steroid, the budesonide that I'm taking. I'm already tapered down to 3 milligrams a day, which is the lowest dose. So now I'm doing budesonide every other day, and I'll do that for 2 weeks, and then I'll completely stop it, and then in 2 more weeks I'll go have my blood drawn. So it's going to be kind of a dance, because if my liver enzymes go back up, we won't know if it's coming off the budesonide or if it's because I'm back on the citalopram. He's not worried about it. He feels like if my liver enzymes goes back up, it's because I come off the steroid. Hoping that, I'm really hoping that things stay below, normal. That way we won't even have to go down that road. But it's just always a dance when you're dealing with your liver and medications, and especially with autoimmune, Some people are on the steroid plus an immunosuppressant for many years before they can come off the steroid. So it wouldn't be a surprise if my liver enzymes go back up a little bit. If that happens, I'm sort of bracing myself for that. But I will say that the biggest drop, I didn't have big drops when I started the steroid. It wasn't until I started taking the bile salt, the ursodiol, that I actually started seeing results with my alkaline phosphatase coming down. My other liver enzymes came down a little bit with the steroid, but really I did not see big drops until I started on the urso, and then after about a month on the azathioprine, the immunosuppressant. So I'm really thinking that I'm dialed in. Now that I'm just on a little bit of steroid, I really think with the AZA and the urso, I'm pretty dialed in on getting things where they need to be. So I'm going to be hopeful, but I'm also going to prepare myself in case I do get a little jump once I stop steroids. So that's where I'm at, and I'm very thankful to the Lord, number one, and modern medicine. And God gives these doctors and researchers the wisdom to give these drugs. I don't like to take drugs any more than I have to. I'm a very natural approach kind of girl, and I did take a year of a natural approach. But sometimes it comes a point that you do have to go the modern medicine, unfortunately, pharmaceutical route. And, sometimes it's needed, and sometimes that is the cure, or I won't say the cure because I will never be cured of this. I will be on the immunosuppressant the rest of my life. But sometimes it is the treatment through modern medicine and through pharmaceuticals is what gives you back your health. And I am very thankful for that. Well, I'm going to let you go, and I'll have an update probably in about another month when my liver enzymes are done again. All right. I hope y'all have a good day. Bye.